2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud. I wrote this. Every concerned Christian must be alert as to the fuel behind the startling reconstruction and the stark postmodernization that is sweeping through our denominations, our parachurch ministries, Bible translation groups, and our local churches. This and every other issue that we're facing in the church today comes back to one question. Do we believe the Bible? And do we give it the authority that it is due?
I sold my soul to the devil.
Katy Perry, who is one of the greatest pop artists of all time, who has more Twitter followers than anyone else in the world with nearly 66 million, has drawn millions of unsuspecting young fans into her dark web with her seemingly fun-loving, innocent bubblegum persona.
Proverbs 16:29, there's a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Isaiah 54:15, he said, behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. That's the broad way. That's what we're looking at out there. In an introduction to a 1999 publication of Hitler's Mein Kampf, Conrad Hayden describes how everything that Hitler was about to do was telegraphed in his early writings. He said, quote, for years Mein Kampf stood as proof of the blindness and complacency of the world. For in its pages, Hitler announced long before he came to power a program of blood and terror and a self-revelation of such overwhelming frankness that few among its readers had the courage to believe it. Once again, it was demonstrated that there was no more effective method of concealment than the broadest publicity. Everything's out there. Everything's been said. And biblical Christianity is the enemy of this world universalism that's coming on the scene.
The end goal that Christianity speaks to could be labeled transhumanism in the sense that it speaks to redemption, immortality, and perfecting. It recognizes and teaches that mankind is fundamentally flawed at the spiritual level and that our sin nature is wrapped up in our spiritual DNA, and that this also has a bearing on the physical. Therefore, salvation, which lifts people up from sin, the way of death, and brings us back to the way of life, first in the spiritual and later the physical, is central to the Christian message. And yet here is the point where we see the divergence taking place between historical Christianity and Christian transhumanism. And to understand this difference and what it looks like, what we need to do is engage in a brief survey of Christian theology and then a short survey of Christian transhumanism.